We're taking you behind the scenes of 3 must-eat Chinese restaurants in Northcote Town Centre. This hub in Tāmaki Makaurau Auckland is a hidden gem packed full of restaurants serving mouth-watering food from all around the world. Today is all about Chinese food. We share a local favourite famous for its roast meats. From succulent roast duck to tender barbecue pork, you have got to eat here. We dive into a feast of unique northwestern Chinese dishes and get up close to see how the city's best pan-fried buns and soup dumplings are made. We're hunting down Auckland's best eats. Hit subscribe and get ready for some mouth-watering food.
I'm Thomas.
And I'm Sheena, and we're chasing a plate.
We hope you're hungry. Let's eat. This is Northcote Town Centre and it is packed with great food. We're making 3 videos across 9 eateries showing you all the best places to eat here. And my gosh, there are a lot of good places to eat. Let's get into today's video.
I'm super pumped to get into a huge range of Chinese food today. Our first stop is for Xi'an, Cantonese roast meats. This is my soul food, my comfort food. We eat a lot of Xi'an, and we're heading to a little restaurant called Fu U BBQ, or it's a little shop at the top of Food City, which is a little food court just around the back of the town centre square. So in we go, Cantonese roast meats. Fu U BBQ have a real local following, and it is all about these roast meats. So there's roast duck, there's soy poached chicken. Look at that crispy roast pork. The crackle is golden, looks super crunchy. And then the glistening barbecue pork. So they've got a huge menu. Roast meats on rice, roast meats with noodles and noodle soup with wontons. There's a ton to choose from. Let's get into the kitchen and see what they're getting up to. Fu U BBQ is owned by Mr. Shi, Mrs. Shi. It's a tiny family-run business and they are famous for their roast meats. So it's a really compact little space. You can see the chicken being hung to dry. There's ducks hanging. I can see roast pork. And then this here is the oven in which the meat is cooked, roasted up, the skin crisped up. This is where all the magic happens. Let's put in our order. I am so hungry. We've ordered barbecue pork and roast pork on rice. I'm just watching Mr. Shi plate up our meat. So the 2 meats on rice with a bit of cabbage. He's ladled some sauce over the top. We've also ordered their really popular roast duck noodles and also some greens. Honestly, the smells in here are exceptional. It's all action in this tiny kitchen. So like this whole meal, everything that we've ordered is like last meal territory for me. It just looks so sensational. You can see the meat is glistening, perfect amount of lean meat, fat. Oh wow. And every customer who's come up to order has looked at me as we've been filming and said, this is the best place. Oh, I can't wait to get in. Thomas and I eat a lot of Cantonese roast meats. My parents used to have a roast shop, and so this is my comfort food. We've gone for a couple of Fu U BBQ's most popular dishes. So we've got the roast duck served with yellow wheat noodles. The noodles are in a dark sauce and tossed with bean sprouts. And then we've gone for roast pork and barbecue pork on rice. Beautiful meat. I can just tell from looking at it that it is top shelf. Great meat fat crackle ratio on that roast pork, and that barbecue pork is glistening. It's quite a sweet meat. It's marinated in a ton of different spices and then honey, all sorts of things. And we've got a plate of toi sum, which have been drizzled with oyster sauce. Look at this generous portion of duck, so really meaty, and that skin is just glistening. far out. That is so good. The meat was super succulent, really crispy skin, a layer of fat underneath that skin that just melts in your mouth as you bite into it. That is so good. And then I've got these noodles on the side, yellow wheat noodles tossed in a sweet soy sauce, some bean sprouts. Perfect texture. Still have a bit of chew. That sweet soy sauce just coats the noodles. This is bloody delicious.
I could not be happier to have this in front of me. I mean, wow, what a plate of meat. And if you're a meat eater, is there anything much better than roasted pork belly? And look at this fat meat crackle ratio. Wow. All those layers absolutely shine. You've got the meat layer, it's got a bit of chew, it's got a bit of texture to it. Then you've got the fat layer, which just bursts and liquidy in your mouth. And then that skin on top. Massive crunch as you bite through that. Absolutely delicious. And some barbecue pork. Oh my God. That's heaven. That glaze, got a bit of sweetness to it, nice saltiness, but you've got the flavor of the meat, and I love that in this. You can actually taste the meat. Sometimes it gets lost. You sort of can taste fat and sweetness. This tastes perfect. I love this little shop. It's raging. Got this tiny little shop front here, and then it's producing this quality of food out of that tiny kitchen. This is absolutely epic. Like everything in this food series so far, it's just a hop, skip and a jump to the next place. We're going to Xi'an Food Bar, and they serve food from northwestern China. So within this shopping centre or shopping area, there's many different cuisines, but there's also many different styles of cuisine. So China, for instance, has so much different regional food. What we're going to eat now is completely different from what we ate for lunch today. Cannot wait for this dinner.
Xi'an Food Bar is a family-run chain. They have about 8 restaurants around Tāmaki Makaurau Auckland. They specialise in northwestern Chinese food. We've eaten at a number of their restaurants and the food is always top-notch. They do great noodles, great dumplings, which are being cooked over in the woks there in hot water. But we have opted for some different dishes, some cold noodles, cold jelly. Can't wait to share this meal with you. This lady here is just making our liang tea, our cold noodles. So cold wheat noodles, I can see some wheat gluten going in there, and this beautiful pink chili sauce, a load of sesame seeds in there. Wow, ho hang, smells amazing. I'm watching the lady make our liang fun, which is a jelly dish made out of mung bean starch. So over here, there's this really big slab of wobbly jelly. I'm just going to give it a bit of a move around. Look at that, so a really thick slab of it. The jelly is going to be doused in a sauce with garlic, chili oil, a bit of oil, spring onions. It smells so aromatic. All right, our 5th and final dish just came off the pass, and our table is absolutely loaded. So we've got a range of delicious dishes. How colourful does our table look? I thought that we'd ordered 5 dishes, but then our pig's ears showed up. So we have got 6 epic looking dishes on this table, and the food here is so unique. We've gone with mainly cold dishes. It's a stinking hot day. And this is the type of food that I want to be eating in this weather. So we've got these mung bean starch jelly noodles, a huge bowl of that, just wallowing in this chili oil. We've got some fresh cucumbers, so a cucumber salad. These two go hand in hand. So these are really popular street foods in Xi'an. This is a Chinese hamburger. It's cumin lamb stuffed into a bun, and then this here is the liangpi, the cold noodles, a ton of shredded cucumber on the top, some wheat gluten, bean sprouts, again that chili oil sauce, and then two cold salads, pig ears, cucumber, some shredded julienne carrot in there, a ton of chili. And then this is dried bean curd with celery, and then again I can see garlic, sesame seeds and chili oil. So fresh and vibrant.
As Sheena said, how is this for a visual table of food? It's so pretty to look at with this pig's ears salad. Vibrant, good hit of spice. The chili has a real zing to it, a tingle all around the front of the tongue. The pig's ears have that sort of chew or bite that you get from a pig ear where they almost pop in your mouth. And I've always liked that sensation when eating pig's ears. Very nice. This dish I adore. So you got this wheat noodle, which came from that big sheet, so it wasn't like any noodle I've ever seen prepared actually. So a big round sheet which you just cut into shape and just drenched in sauce and spice. It's got a lump of this gluten. Yum. And that gluten is a great ingredient. It literally is gluten. It's a clump of gluten that's pulled out and condensed up, and then that's what goes into the dish, and it sops up all that chili sauce, and the cucumbers on top. We'll give it a good mix soon. They add a freshness and a nice little crunch to it. Yum.
The team brought over one of their most popular dishes, and that is the Xi'an braised pork with hand-pulled noodles. And they pull the noodles to order. We watched the lady pulling that dough, slapping it on that stainless steel table. This is a delicious dish. We've eaten it before. I've got to get into the Chinese hamburger. Look at that, it's just filled with cumin-laden lamb, and Xi'an has a strong Islamic food culture, and hence the lamb. That filling is the absolute hero. Really punchy hit of cumin, a little bit of chili, juicy onions, and really tender lamb. Oh, this is such a great feast. This liang fan looks like a bit of me. It is really slippery, wobbly. I'm just gonna douse it in that chili oil. It's all about the texture. It's really silky and smooth. Got the sting of the chili oil. It's not super spicy, but it's just a fun dish to eat. I love this place. What a spread.
Our Chinese feasting is continuing now. We're moving to some Shanghai cuisine, and this is classic Shanghai cuisine. We're having shilongbao, or the soup dumplings. Such a good dish. We're gonna have some buns as well. This neat little place just up here, just across the car park. As always, super compact, everything's real close together.
This shop is called Little Yum, and we have arrived early to watch the team make their famous xiaolongbao and their shenzhangbao. These guys are famous for these two Shanghainese dishes. So the team here are just making the shenzhangbao, and that's a pan-fried bun. This here is the pork filling. So you can see that the filling here is quite sticky. There'll be a lot of liquid mixed into that, because inside it's going to be this really juicy morsel. Watching the bao getting made is pure artistry. They are so quick. So we've got wheat flour wrapper. So this lady here is rolling out little balls of dough into the size of the wrapper, And then this lady here is putting a hefty amount of filling into the middle of that dough and then crimping it so that it forms a beautiful rosette, sealing the bun, and then into the oiled tray ready for steaming or frying. I'm watching the xiaolong bao, the soup dumpling wrappers getting rolled out. She is so quick and she's doing 2 at a time. The wrapper is really thin, and if you come over here you can see the filling. So it's a traditional pork filling, and if you get in really close you can see tiny cubes of jelly which is made from a meat stock, in amongst that pork mince. So what happens is that when the dumpling is cooked, when it's steamed, that jelly melts and that turns into the soup. Once the xiaolong bao are made, they go straight on top of the steamer, so they're in that basket for 6 minutes. I reckon we need to get out into the shop, put in an order and get eating. My tummy is grumbling. 谢谢 team! Xiaolong bao is all about timing. So when these guys come out of the steamer, they are hot. The soup inside the dumpling is scalding. So you want to leave them long enough that they cool down a little bit, but you don't want to leave them so long that the skin, the dumpling wrapper, gets really sluggy. So I think they've been sitting there for long enough. I put a little bit of vinegar in my spoon and I'm going to let it wallow in there. And what you do is, to help it cool down a bit, you bite a tiny hole to the side of the rosette and let it become a steam vent. I think these are looking really good. Holy moly, that is so good. It's such a joyful experience eating a xiaolong bao at the perfect temperature. The liquid in that soup dumpling just explodes in your mouth. It's really rich because it's a meat stock, really flavoursome filling. The tang of the vinegar, the dumpling was perfect, great, perfect thickness of skin. That is delicious.
There's always something special about being in a kitchen at a place like this, seeing the skill level of them making these dumpling wrappers. It's the sort of thing you watch and you know you could never achieve it. You could not get the speed, the precision they do. And then look at these results, and these Shanghai fried buns are stunning. They steam in the pan, so you get this top side is all steamed, the whole thing's steamed. The top side stays steamed, and then they pour a whole lot of oil in there, and that just crisps up the bottom near the end. And we've got 3 styles here. We've got cheese and prawn, we've got pork and vegetable, and we've got just pure pork. I'm going with the pork and vegetable one. Wow. Oh. Crispy on the bottom, soft on the top, juicy, really nice. I'm going to dip it in a bit of this chili here. Wow. That packs a really good little punch. Man, this food is great. Super flavoursome, super juicy, just like you want it to be. The xiaolong bao, I've had one, and it's exactly what you want in a xiaolong bao. Full of flavour, full of soup. Man, these are tasty. So this has been a big day of Chinese food, and what a way to top it off. We've covered so many regions of China in this video. Get to Northcote, eat this food, check out the rest of the videos. We've done 3 videos all around this little village. There is so much good food here. Come and eat in Northcote, we love it. Thanks for watching, subscribe if you enjoyed the video. See ya.